Today, we bring you a story revolving around Laura, a 53-year-old woman who feels dissatisfied in her marriage to Richard, her husband, who is often away for work. Laura begins to feel lonely and finds joy in her encounters with Ryan, a young and charming gardener. When Richard starts returning home more frequently, the bond between Laura and Ryan is threatened, creating an inner conflict within Laura between her sense of duty and her personal desires. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest stories. Now, let's begin. In the charming city of Buffalo, New York, within the cozy confines of Laura and Richard's beautifully maintained home, a quiet restlessness has begun to simmer in Laura's heart. At 53, she finds herself yearning for excitement and passion, feelings that seem to have slipped away over the years as she navigates the monotony of her marriage to Richard, a devoted husband who is often consumed by his work and frequently out of town. As the sun casts a warm glow through the bay window, Laura stands with her heart fluttering in anticipation, waiting for Ryan, the young gardener who has recently entered her life. At just 25 or 26, Ryan exudes a vibrant energy that captivates Laura, drawing her attention and igniting a spark she hasn't felt in years. "At my age, I should know better than to let a man half my age get me all riled up," she muses, reflecting on the stability of her life with Richard, yet feeling increasingly lonely during his absences. This longing for connection becomes a defining moment for Laura, setting the stage for an emotional journey that intertwines desire, conflict, and the complexities of forbidden love. Little does she know that her interactions with Ryan will challenge her notions of fidelity and awaken a side of herself she thought she had lost forever. Laura stands at the bay window, her heart fluttering with anticipation as she waits for Ryan to arrive. The sun filters through the glass, casting a warm glow over the room, yet the light does little to illuminate the shadows of loneliness that have crept into her life. At 53, Laura feels restless in her marriage to Richard, who is often away on business trips, leaving her to navigate the silence of their spacious home alone. As she gazes into the garden, she recalls the early days of her marriage filled with love and laughter, but those memories have dulled over time. "At my age, I should know better than to let a man half my age get me all riled up," she thinks, chastising herself for the thrill she feels at the thought of Ryan. He is only 25 or 26, an athletic and charismatic young man who has recently taken on the role of the gardener, breathing new life into the landscape and, unexpectedly, into Laura's world. Her thoughts drift as she watches him work, captivated by the ease with which he moves among the flowers and plants. Despite the stable life she has built with Richard, Laura's growing sense of isolation has begun to outweigh the comfort of routine. With each passing day, her loneliness deepens, and the excitement Ryan brings into her life becomes a tempting escape from the ordinary. As she waits, her heart races at the possibility of connection, feeling alive in a way she hasn't experienced in years. As days turn into weeks, Laura finds herself increasingly captivated by Ryan, the young gardener who has unwittingly become the center of her attention. One sunny afternoon, she steps outside and notices him working diligently in the garden, his athletic build and the way he interacts with the plants drawing her in like a moth to a flame. Unable to resist, Laura approaches him, her heart racing with excitement. "Would you like something to drink?" she offers, her voice slightly flirtatious, an undeniable spark of connection igniting between them. Ryan looks up, a hint of surprise in his eyes. "No, thank you, ma'am," he replies politely, his shyness apparent. "Please, call me Laura," she insists, her smile warm and inviting. This simple exchange marks the beginning of something profound. As Laura hands him a cold glass of lemonade, they engage in small talk about gardening, their lives, and shared experiences, both feeling the energy of their budding connection. With each interaction, Laura feels a rush of exhilaration she thought she had long since lost. Their conversations are playful, laced with laughter and flirty glances that make her heart flutter. Ryan's shyness and warmth draw her in deeper, and for the first time in years, Laura feels alive and youthful again. Every secret meeting, every shared story, becomes a cherished ritual that allows them to escape the constraints of her mundane life. As she finds herself yearning for Ryan's presence more and more, this connection, innocent yet charged with an underlying desire, awakens emotions Laura thought had faded into memory, setting the stage for a tumultuous journey of discovery. As the weeks pass, Laura and Ryan's relationship evolves into a series of secret meetings, each one deepening the bond they forged. Whenever Richard is away, Laura finds herself eagerly awaiting Ryan's arrival, their time together becoming a cherished escape from the solitude that often envelops her home. They gather on the patio, where the warm sun casts a golden hue over their conversations, sharing drinks and stories that blur the lines between friendship and something more intimate. "Gardening was something I picked up from my grandfather," Ryan shares one afternoon, his voice filled with nostalgia. Laura smiles, touched by the sincerity in his words. "I used to travel a lot when I was younger," she replies, reminiscing about the adventures that once filled her life with excitement. Their exchanges are tinged with an innocence that belies the undeniable chemistry crackling between them. Each laugh and shared story further entwines their lives, as they explore each other's hopes and dreams in the serene confines of Laura's garden. In these moments, she feels free and vibrant, like a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. Ryan's presence brings a youthful exuberance into her life, making her forget the growing discontent she feels in her marriage. Despite the underlying desire that simmers between them, their connection remains grounded in companionship and understanding, allowing Laura to nurture this unexpected relationship without the immediate pressure of physical intimacy. Yet, with each fleeting touch and lingering glance, she becomes increasingly aware that the line between friendship and desire is becoming harder to define, propelling her further into a world of temptation and longing. As summer wanes and autumn approaches, the delicate balance Laura has cultivated with Ryan begins to unravel. Richard, sensing his wife's restlessness, starts returning home more frequently, disrupting the rhythm of Laura's secret meetings with the young gardener. With each arrival of her husband, Laura feels a wave of frustration wash over her, as the warmth and connection she has shared with Ryan are overshadowed by the demands of her domestic life. Richard's presence, once a source of comfort, now feels stifling, reminding her of the loneliness she has tried to escape. During evenings when they would have shared laughter and stories, Laura finds herself trapped in mundane conversations with Richard, her heart aching for the spark she feels with Ryan. She often glances out the window, watching Ryan as he tends to the garden, his athletic form moving effortlessly among the flowers. The sight ignites a longing within her that she struggles to suppress. This internal conflict intensifies as Laura grapples with her emotions. She feels torn between her loyalty to Richard and the exhilarating connection she has with Ryan, which awakens a part of her that she thought had been lost forever. Guilt seeps into her heart, mingling with her desire, creating a storm of emotions that leaves her feeling trapped in a life she no longer recognizes. Each encounter with Richard serves as a painful reminder of the routine she craves to escape, while each stolen moment with Ryan heightens her longing and desire for something more. As Laura stands at this crossroads, she realizes that the choices she makes in the coming days will define not only her happiness but the very fabric of her existence. One evening, as the shadows lengthen and Richard settles in for the night, Laura feels an overwhelming sense of desperation. The weight of her emotions has become too much to bear, and the longing for Ryan pulls at her heartstrings like a siren's call. Unable to resist the urge any longer, she picks up her phone, her hands trembling as she scrolls to Ryan's number. "I hope I'm not disturbing you. I need to talk," she whispers, her voice barely above a breath. "Hello?" Ryan answers, his voice groggy with sleep. "What's going on?" His tone is cautious yet curious, awakening a flurry of excitement within Laura. She can feel her heart racing as she asks him to come over, knowing this decision could change everything. A mix of anticipation and fear washes over her as she hangs up, the reality of her choice settling in. Dressing carefully, Laura prepares for Ryan's arrival, the nervous energy coursing through her veins fueling her sense of empowerment. She selects a soft, flowing dress that she knows he appreciates, her mind racing with thoughts of their past encounters. Each moment leading up to his arrival heightens her excitement, but it also brings a wave of guilt that threatens to engulf her. As she stands by the door, anxiously waiting, she feels the gravity of what she is about to do. When Ryan finally arrives, looking nervous yet eager, the atmosphere shifts dramatically. Laura invites him inside, her heart pounding with a mixture of thrill and anxiety. "Call me Laura, please," she says softly, trying to ease the tension. The stakes have never felt higher, and as they step into this uncharted territory together, Laura realizes that their connection is about to be tested in ways she never imagined. The air is thick with anticipation, and both know that this moment will define their relationship forever. As Ryan steps into Laura's home, an electric tension fills the air, wrapping around them like a fine mist. He looks nervous, his hands fidgeting slightly as he glances around the cozy living room, a stark contrast to the chaotic feelings swirling within him. Laura, sensing his unease, quickly offers reassurance. "It's just us here. You don't have to worry," she says softly, leading him toward the guest room where they can find privacy away from the watchful eyes of her life with Richard. Once inside, the atmosphere shifts from apprehension to warmth as they settle onto the plush bed. Laura's heart races as she looks at Ryan, the young man who has brought a renewed sense of purpose into her life. "What's going on?" Ryan asks, his voice barely above a whisper, filled with curiosity and concern. She takes a deep breath, grappling with the whirlwind of emotions inside her. The conversation flows hesitantly at first, but soon it transforms into an intimate exchange, a safe space where vulnerability can flourish. They talk about their hopes and fears, revealing the depths of their feelings in a way that neither of them expected. As Laura opens up about her feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction in her marriage, she notices Ryan's expression shift from nervousness to understanding. The walls they have both built around themselves begin to crumble, revealing a deep emotional bond that transcends their age difference. In this moment, the tension of their circumstances fades into the background, replaced by a growing intimacy. Laura realizes that their connection is about more than just physical attraction. It is a profound understanding of each other's lives and struggles. The room buzzes with a palpable energy, as both begin to sense that they are on the precipice of something transformative. And for Laura, this meeting could be the beginning of a new chapter she desperately craves. As their conversation deepens, the vulnerability in the room becomes almost tangible. Laura leans closer to Ryan, her heart racing as she instinctively reaches out to touch his arm. The warmth of her hand against his skin sends a shiver through him, and for a moment, time stands still. Ryan flinches slightly at the contact, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his face, but he doesn't pull away. Instead, he meets her gaze, his eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and longing. "You're such a kind young man. You've made my day brighter," Laura says softly, her voice laced with sincerity. In that moment, Ryan reveals a vulnerability of his own, opening up about his lack of experience with relationships. "I haven't really been with a woman before," he admits, his honesty hanging in the air like a secret. The admission surprises Laura, and a wave of tenderness washes over her as she realizes the weight of what they are embarking upon. Their connection shifts from one of mere attraction to something more profound, a bond forged through shared insecurities and a mutual longing for acceptance. Laura recognizes that Ryan needs her as much as she needs him. Both are searching for solace in a world that has left them feeling isolated. This realization ignites a fire within Laura, propelling her forward into the unknown. The thrill of the moment is intoxicating, pushing her to take a leap of faith. With their hearts laid bare, they inch closer, the air thick with possibility. Laura feels the gravity of the choices they are making, aware that this turning point could alter the course of their lives forever. Embracing the moment, she understands that they are on the brink of crossing a line that could either liberate them or bind them in ways they had never anticipated. As the emotional barrier between them begins to dissolve, Laura and Ryan find themselves drawn closer together, the tension in the air morphing into an undeniable attraction. The room feels charged with anticipation as Laura gazes into Ryan's eyes, searching for any sign of hesitation. "Is this okay?" she asks softly, her voice trembling with both excitement and trepidation. Ryan, breathing heavily, meets her gaze with a mix of desire and yearning. "Yes, please don't stop," he responds, his words igniting a fire within her. With a gentle yet purposeful motion, Laura leans in, her heart pounding as their lips finally meet. The kiss is tentative at first, exploring the new terrain of their relationship with a sweet vulnerability. But as they lose themselves in the moment, it deepens into something more passionate, an exploration of the emotions that have been building between them. Every touch sends shivers down Laura's spine, awakening sensations she thought had long since faded away. Their bodies move instinctively, a delicate dance of discovery as they navigate this new territory together. Laura feels the heat radiating from Ryan, each caress igniting her senses and blurring the lines between right and wrong. With every shared breath, they become more attuned to one another, their movements a blend of nervousness and eagerness. The world outside fades away, leaving only the two of them enveloped in a cocoon of intimacy. In this charged moment, they embody the culmination of their hidden desires, a release that feels both exhilarating and terrifying. It is a moment of liberation, yet laden with the weight of potential consequences. As they explore the depths of their connection, Laura realizes that this physical intimacy signifies not only a culmination of their feelings, but also a pivotal choice that could forever alter the course of their lives. After their passionate encounter, Laura and Ryan lie together in a state of blissful tranquility, the world outside their sanctuary momentarily forgotten. The room is filled with a sense of contentment as they bask in the afterglow, hearts still racing from the intensity of their connection. Ryan turns to Laura, a soft smile playing on his lips. "Thank you for everything," he whispers, his voice tinged with sincerity. Laura, feeling a rush of emotion, replies, "No, thank you for making me feel alive again." Yet, amidst the warmth and euphoria, A cloud of reality begins to settle in. Laura's mind races with the implications of their actions, the thrill of the moment tinged with an undercurrent of guilt. She realizes that what began as a long overdue escape from her lonely marriage has transformed into a deeper entanglement, one that carries the weight of betrayal. As she lies next to Ryan, she can't help but reflect on her life with Richard, the choices she has made, and the precarious position she now finds herself in. The exhilaration of newfound love is swiftly overshadowed by the looming consequences of her infidelity. As dawn breaks, casting soft rays of light through the window, Laura feels a complex mixture of satisfaction and guilt. She knows that this encounter has awakened something within her, a renewed sense of purpose and desire for joy, but it also comes with a price. With a heavy heart, Laura rises and prepares to return to the reality of her life, slipping into bed beside Richard. The warmth of Ryan lingers in her thoughts as she confronts the duality of her experience, the happiness she has found, and the deep-seated remorse for the life she has momentarily forsaken. As she lays there, feelings of guilt and elation swirl within her, signaling that her journey has only just begun and that the choices she makes moving forward will determine the path of her heart.